Yes, sir.
All right. Jeff Zimmerman here with FightNews.com. I'm with Chris the Nightmare Arreola, 38 and 6 and 1, 33 KOs. Got a big fight May 1st against the former heavyweight champ Andy Ruiz, 33 and 2, 22 KOs at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California on Fox pay-per-view. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing great, man. Just here, relaxing. Just got done having some breakfast, had my Starbucks, and ready to get my day started, man.
Yeah. What does your day look like typically when you're in camp?
Wake up at 6:30. Either I wake up and go run, or I go do some stairs. Today I just did stairs. Just literally just went outside the door and I'm in the 31st floor. So I just ran down 10, up 10, down 10, up 10, up. So about 30 minutes worth of work. Come back, take a shower, give myself some breakfast, and here we are now.
Doing stairs like that for a heavyweight, man, that's pretty impressive. How long you been doing stairs?
Well, I've been here 2 months, so all 2 months I've been doing stairs about 2-3 days a week. I like it. You know, I'm gonna need this mobility for someone like Ruiz, and just got to be in the best shape that I possibly can because this is gonna be a war. This is gonna be a battle of attrition. This is one of those fights that those water cooler kind of fights that you'll be talking for weeks.
Hey, real quick before we get too deep into this, obviously I'm wearing my LA Dodgers hat. I know you're a huge Dodger fan. I was at a couple of the games last summer here in Texas, where I live now for 20 years. What were your thoughts when they won the World Series first since '88?
I was glad. I was happy that they won the World Series, but being the fan that I am, I wish that we would have got a chance to actually be there, to be at Dodger Stadium, to be at the games. You're lucky enough to, like you said, to be in Texas and you got to see those games. I thought about flying out there, but it was pretty pricey, man. But it was great. It was beautiful to see the Dodgers win, and it was a long time coming.
You're about 7 or 8 years old when they won their last title, I believe.
Yeah, I was 7 years old in '88. But as much as I loved the Dodgers then, I didn't understand baseball the way that I understand it now. I credit all my baseball knowledge to my daughter because when she was born and she started playing softball, like me, my dad used to take me to all the boxing fights that I could. So to give my daughter like a sense of wanting to be better, I would take her to as many baseball games as I could. So I credit all my baseball knowledge to my daughter.
Awesome, that's great. So you got a big fight coming up May 1st, as we mentioned, Andy Ruiz, former heavyweight champion, and this is kind of I wouldn't call it personal necessarily in a bad way, but Mexican American. He got that heavyweight title that you've been trying to get to for years. What does this fight mean to you?
Yeah, with all due respect, I'm one time he wanted to be like me. Now I want to be like him. And in all honesty, man, this is one of those fights, to kind of give me to cement my name in the sport of boxing. That's really what I want to do. I'm with this win. It's going to take me to another fight, and God willing, to a title fight. But this is one of those fights that should define my career.
You mentioned when you met him, when you were early in your career and he was young, that you thought you would eventually fight him. What made you think that at that time?
In all honesty, the first time I sparred with him, well, first I seen him. I seen the kid. I was like, man, Henry, am I really gonna spar this fat kid? Like, honestly, that was my mentality. This fat kid, wow, come on, man. And then ding ding, the bell rang, and it was on and cracking. It was war, man. This kid, not only did he have the hand speed, he had the power, and he had the heart, and he had the balls. Because during like the second and third round, we had some heated exchanges, and we were going at it. And his dad said, "Hey, chill." And Andy's like, "Nah, hell no, we're fighting, we're battling, and we're going at it." I was like, "Yeah, this kid has something. This kid is someone I'm gonna have to deal with in the future." And sure enough, here we are. and I'm gonna have to deal with him come May 1st.
Do you know how old you guys were back when you first started sparring him?
We just sparred a couple times, like a handful of times, and it was like when he was like 17 years old. I want to say 17 or 18. I don't think he had a pro fight at all yet, but I knew this kid was coming though.
It seemed like he was like almost a big man, but in a small man's fighting style with his speed. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, and he's still the same guy. He's still the same dude with a tremendous hand speed, great punching power, and he moves for being a bigger boy. He was agile. So we'll see what happens now with him trying to get into shape, and sometimes it's a detriment, sometimes it's good for you. But we'll see what happens on May 1st. My job is in there is just to be a boxer and to box him the way I know how.
Were you shocked? It doesn't sound like you would be being in the ring with him, but were you shocked the way he took out Anthony Joshua to win the title?
Not at all, man. I picked him to win. And the reason I picked him to win is because he had just fought, right? He fought at Dermachenko or whatever the heck that guy's name is. He fought that Russian kid in Carson, and he knocked him out with the first 5 rounds, I believe. And once he got the call, he was already ready. He was ready. He was peaking. So once he was ready, I'm like, dude, this guy's just going to take him out because either Josh was going to overlook him or, the shape that he was in was just going to propel him to the world title. So I seen him winning. And Joshua learned that, don't judge a book by its cover because this boy had punching power and this boy had speed.
Now, obviously, Andy took it to the next level when he won the title. He was enjoying the good life out in LA, appearing on like Jay Leno and all the talk shows and, showing off all his spending. Were you surprised that, obviously it's a big deal winning the heavyweight title, but the pitfalls that come with it, he actually got depression afterwards and everything. It was a pretty fast and furious ride.
You know what? In all honesty, think about it, man. You come from nothing. We come from nothing, from having a goddamn dime, and then all of a sudden the world's given to you in an oyster. Just bam, here it is, right on the platter. How many people would be able to handle success? Not that many.
Right. And obviously he's turned himself around and, with Canelo and team. And as you mentioned, he looks in tremendous shape. We'll see how that plays out. Now, you've been boxing professionally for 20 years, I believe. Three world title opportunities, Stavern, Deontay Wilder, and Vitaly Klitschko, which a lot of people may not remember. How have you endured so long in a sport that's so brutal?
To be honest, man, I just don't give up. I believe in myself, man. I love the sport. I love the sport so much, man. I'm grateful for everything that boxing has given to me. I'm grateful for the life that it has given me. I'm grateful for the fans that have stuck by me even through the losses, through thick and thin, meaning through fat and thin, through whatever you want to call it, man. But I just have the fortitude that I just believe in myself, that there's no way that I could lose if I train hard enough. And boxing is a sport that all it takes is one punch to take you out. Stavern did that to me. Klitschko, he was just a big, strong man. A Wilder just wasn't my day. But that's boxing. And I just kept pushing forward, and I keep pushing forward every day.
Even though this is not a title fight, technically, the fact that Andy was a champion just recently and, both being Mexican-American and all the pride and everything that's on the line, do you kind of take this like a title fight in some regards?
Yeah, you know what? I take every fight like a title fight now, because every fight is like a title fight in my eyes because winning, you get a title shot. That's the way I feel. Just like when I just last fought Adam Kaunecki, I treated that fight like a title fight because, again, if I would have won that fight, I would have got a title shot. Even though I feel like I won that fight, I didn't win in the judges' cards.
Right, right. So if you beat Andy, though, you definitely, this isn't it for you. You definitely want to keep going and get another crack at a title.
Absolutely, man. That's why I'm in boxing, man. I'm in boxing to be a world champion. I'm not in boxing to collect checks or anything like that. The checks are nice. It's always great, but I'd rather be remembered when I'm dead. When I'm die one day, my name, I wanted to be in the books as a world heavyweight champion. I can't take the money with me. I can't take nothing with me. My kids, all they're gonna be able to say, be like, hey, that was my dad right there. So that's one thing that I definitely want to take with me.
You mentioned Kanaki, and CompuBox said that you guys landed the most punches in heavyweight history, 667, threw the most, 2,172. I mean, when you were in the ring that night, did you realize you guys were at a record pace?
No, I did not. In all honesty, after the 12th round, I think I could have gone another three rounds. I was in great shape for that fight. I was in tremendous shape. I just kept throwing because I wanted to win. My left hand was fucked up, but I didn't care. I kept throw that left hand, throw whatever I can to win that fight. And I honestly felt like I swept the last 3 rounds, and one judge only gave me 2 rounds. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And in all honesty, after that fight, I thought about this. I'm like, I think judges should wear like headphones like noise canceling headphones, so the crowd doesn't affect them. Because every time I got hit, it may not have been hit hard, but the fans would be like, ooh, ah, and stuff like that. And when I hit them, there was a like fucking church mouse.
Right, right. Well, speaking of judging, I covered the Estrada Chocolatito fight here in Dallas about a month ago. What were your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, no, I thought Chocolatito won. But again, the best thing I could describe that as, judges are like men. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I may like a thick girl, you may like a skinny girl. You know what I mean? And that's how it is with judges. Some judges like counter punches, some judges like a boxer. So beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
And obviously that fight was very close, but one judge had it 9-3 for Estrada, which was outrageous.
Yeah, exactly. Just like my judging. One judge gave me 2 rounds. Like, I don't know how he only gave me 2 rounds, but that's fucking crazy.
So let's go back to Andy a little bit, Chris, and we'll wrap it up here in a few. You mentioned his speed. You obviously have experienced it years ago in sparring. You're 40 now. What is a guy like you and your style? How do you counteract that speed? Is it timing? Is it hitting between his punches? What's the strategy there?
It's all about timing and defense, man. You got to find a way to defend against the speed. If not, if you get hit with one, don't get hit with two. Make sure you move your head, keep your hands up, and counter at the right time, counter between punches. But the main thing is just I have to use my experience. I have to use my ring knowledge, my ring generalship to win this fight, because it's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, and he obviously has mad respect for you. I was on the media call recently with you guys, and nothing but respect between the two of you. But he's taken this is kind of one of those big risk fights for him, trying to get back in the title shot. Were you surprised that he would take a fight with you after your last performance? And like you said, one punch in the heavyweight division could be all she wrote.
Yeah, no, if I was in his shoes, I'll pick myself too. An older heavyweight fighter that comes to fight, that brings in excitement to a fight. He needs someone like me, and I need him. So it's a perfect match.
Do you wish this fight would have happened 5 years sooner? Or I know you don't look back, have any regrets, but the time is good?
No, this is good timing, man, because he's a known fighter. I'm a known fighter. 5 years ago, no one knew who the fuck he was, and it would have been the risk outweighed the rewards. There would have been no rewards in that fight 5 years ago. In this fight 5 years ago, nobody would have gave a shit. they would have just seen it as two fat Mexicans fighting each other. Now we're looking at this fight as a has been versus a now, a present. So I'm the has been, and I'm the one that has to bring the fight. I'm the one that has to make believers out of me again. But at the end of the day, you know, we have a great fight here. We have a great fight.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you, like I said earlier, I mentioned 20 years as a pro, but actually 18 years, you're 40 years old. Do you feel like an OG in the sport? I mean, do people come to you and say, Chris, what does it take to stay so long? I mean, do you mentor other fighters?
No, I don't mentor no one, man, because in all honesty, they don't have the heart that I have. You know, I've talked to some matchmakers, right? And they've told me they've offered such and such to this fighter, such and such to this fighter, such and such to this fighter. You know, we're talking about like 6 figures to fight in a fight. And then these guys show up and they fold, or they just don't take the fight. I'm like, how? Why? I don't understand it. I don't get it. You got to have some kind of belief in yourself. You know, when I fought Vitaly Klitschko, I got that in 6 weeks notice. When I fought Deontay Wilder, I got that in 5 weeks notice, and I had just got off a broken ankle. You don't turn down fights. You don't turn down money fights, title fights. You don't turn them down, you know. And then when they do come up, they lay an egg. Like, I don't understand. I don't get how somebody gets paid and then you just basically just lay an egg. You better leave yourself out there. You have to. That's how boxing fans love you, because you leave it on the ring. I leave it on the ring because I love what I do. I respect the sport. And I can't stand to watch somebody disrespect the sport that I love so much.
Have you seen the sport change? I mean, you've crossed over a couple of eras of boxing. You know, when you talk about Klitschko and the fighters today, have you seen that shift in the sport over the years?
I seen a shift of boxers feeling like they are owed something. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Without proving themselves yet. Like, they feel like they should get the high paid profile fights when they haven't done shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, there's some fights and some fighters that I could talk about, but I'd rather not, because it's, you know, I don't know what was in their heart when they took the fight. I don't know what was in their heart when they went down and they didn't get up. I have no respect for someone that takes a dive. I have no respect for someone that gets punched and doesn't get back up. When you see that they can't get back up, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I think a lot of fighters nowadays, they don't have this. They don't have the heart to get back up. They don't have the heart of believing themselves to do something for themselves. But just like I tell my daughter sometimes, you know, you kids have no heart. You kids are too fragile. And it's going worldwide. It's not just in boxing.
Right. Let me ask you this. I mean, again, being 40, I mean, what keeps you motivated to get up at 6 a.m. to run up and down 30 flights of stairs? What keeps driving you?
My sheet ain't silk. You know, it ain't that hard to get off of cotton linen. You know what I mean? I love what I do. I don't feel like I'm 40. I don't. I feel like I'm in my 30s. And then I see pictures like, holy shit, that was me. I have no sense of time if it makes any point. I don't consider myself a 40-year-old man. I just consider myself a man that loves what he does.
Are you the Tom Brady of boxing?
You know what? I wish I was, man, because Tom Brady takes great care of himself and he eats all the good things. I eat whatever I want. I drink what I want. I smoke what I want. I do what I want. And I'm just a dude that doesn't know how to quit.
How much longer do you realistically think you'll be in the ring, or how many more fights do you want?
We'll see after this fight. You know, I guess I'm I'm an alcoholic, one fight at a time, man. One fight at a time. So we'll see where this goes, and God willing, everything comes out great, and we'll keep fighting. If not, I will appreciate it, and I will thank every fan that I've had. I will thank every hater that I had, and time's up.
Now, we're going to wrap it up here, Chris, and I really appreciate the time. Jeff Zimmerman, FightNews.com. Speaking of OGs, you train under one of the OGs of boxing, who I don't think he's ever – I met him years ago when he was with Diego Corrales at a golf tournament in Vegas with Richard Steele. It doesn't look like he's aged a bit. What is it like training under the legendary Joe Goosen?
I love being with Joe, man. He's a breath of fresh air. And one time I was walking around and someone asked me, "Are you always going to be violent? Are you always going to be crazy like this?" And then the next day I'm at the gym with Joe, and he looks himself in the mirror. He's a very vain guy. I love that about him. He's very vain. He looks himself in the mirror and he looks that he has hair and he goes, "Man, I look good today." Then he starts bouncing on his toes and it's like throw some combination. And he goes, "I wish a motherfucker would want to step up to me." Oh my God. So that answers your question. I'm always going to be a dog. I'm always going to want to fight. I'm always going to be a vain boxer. So that answers my question. I want to be like Joe. I want to be full of life. I want to be able to train kids and show them something different in their life.
He seems like the master motivator.
Yeah, he's a very good motivator. But you know what? Not that he's a motivator like a hoorah, let's go, you can do a thing. He's there. Like I always say about kids, I don't when people tell me what do you gotta say to kids, I don't gotta say shit to kids. I gotta say to the parents, be there. That's the hardest thing to do. And that's what Joe does. He's there. He's watching you. He's making sure that you're perfecting everything you do. If I drop the right hand a little bit, like, no, up. Bring it back. Bring the combinations up. So it's just constant vigilance, constant drilling in your head to get shit right. Because if you make it into a habit, the next thing you know, it's going to be second nature.
Has he ever gotten you to wear the denim jacket?
I love denim, man. I got a couple denim jackets, and I wear them just for him. But yeah, man, I love him and his denim. I told him yesterday, joking around, I told him that he should be a Mario brother. And he said, "Why should I be a Mario brother?" And I said, "Because denim, 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 denim." Remember that? Anyways,
right.
Yeah, just a dumb joke. But yeah, he loves his denim, and he looks good on him. That old man looks good on him.
Hey, I appreciate all that. That's great stuff, Chris. One final question. What should we expect on May 1st?
Fireworks. Plain and simple. Fireworks. It's a quintessential Cinco de Mayo kind of weekend, kind of a fight. And I'm going to bring all my Mexican in there, and I'm going to bring all the fireworks that I got, all the gunpowder that I got, and it should be a great fight.
Well, there's a reason why you're a fan favorite, whether you ever win a title or not, whether you win May 1st or not. There's a reason why you've been in the sport this long. You give it all out there in the ring. You're all heart. You can tell you have a lot of fun out there. And anything else you want to share with your fans? Anybody else out there?
I love boxing, man. I love what I do. And I just want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to entertain them, because that's what I do. Ding, ding, time to get paid, but it's also time to entertain. I'm not in here for a paycheck. I'm in here to entertain you guys, and I hope I gave you guys a great experience in every one of my fights that I've had.
Well, you have, definitely. Chris, thank you so much. That's Chris Arreola, the Nightmare. Got a big fight May 1st, Andy Ruiz at Dignity's Health Sports Park in Carson, California, or on Fox pay-per-view. Good luck, my friend, and we'll talk to you soon. Jeff Zimmerman, FightNews.com.
Go Dodgers.
All right, buddy. Take care.